It's a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. I'm tracking severe thunderstorms on Defender in just a moment.
A Garrett County man is shot and later dies after violence rang out at a stockyards in Washington County.
The case involving a man accused of killing his wife is over. We'll tell you about a plea in the case.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon to you. We are getting a taste of spring today across the area.
And while we've enjoyed record-breaking warmth today, we'll have to deal with strong storms as well. Those will be rolling in late tonight, early morning hours as well as people go to bed. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking the storms on this WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day.
Yeah, guys, we're ready to watch the storms come in from western Kentucky into central and eastern Kentucky. And we've got our severe weather cams that are fired up across the entire region to watch the storms as they make their way in from west to east. We're looking toward that western sky, and over the next couple of hours, we'll watch the Louisville, E-Town, Midway, and Frankfort cams to begin to light up. Those will be the cams that will first see those severe thunderstorms latter part of the evening, then rolling on toward the east as the evening wears on. And these cameras, by the way, are interchangeable, so we can add different ones to the mix to follow the severe weather threat this evening. Tornado watch is out for much of central and western Kentucky. Does not include the I-75 corridor exactly, but it is just to our west. That includes Harrodsburg, Danville, down into Stanford, Lincoln County, and points to the west from there. Defender Radar Network. Southerly wind flow that is absolutely cranking right now, getting winds right at 40 miles per hour already with some of those gusts. Heavier rains earlier across the I-64 corridor, now off to our north and northeast. Still a little sliver of that tornado warning just to the southwest of the Owensboro area. Severe thunderstorm warning, though, to the southwest of Bowling Green. That is one line of thunderstorms. Another line that is just ahead of the front now, beginning to pop right on top of the Mississippi River. So we'll track both of those lines into town as we go into late tonight and early tomorrow morning. It is a high wind threat that takes center stage, along with very heavy rains across most of central and eastern Kentucky. That could lead to some local flooding issues. Guys, you talked earlier about that severe weather threat coming in potentially when a lot of folks are asleep. Here's one of the ways we help keep you safe. We have these Midland weather radios that are available at Kroger and Walgreens stores across the area for a discounted price. So you go in there, you get one of these, you set it up tonight, it will alert you even if you're sleeping to the possibility of severe weather. And of course, we're going to be here with you through the entire night as well.
Chris, thank you. Now, we're tracking breaking news this afternoon out of Lexington. A pedestrian suffered critical injuries after a car hit him.
It happened just after 2 at New Circle and Eastland Parkway. We're told the man might have been trying to help someone at the time. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live for us at the scene with the breaking details. Hillary?
Good evening. Witnesses say the pedestrian who was trying to help a driver at the time ended up pinned underneath the front of the car when the crash ended near where we are here at the corner of Eastland and New Circle Road. It happened around 2:15 this afternoon when investigators say a man jogging in the area saw a driver having a medical emergency. While then trying to help that driver, police say she went through the intersection of Eastland and New Circle Road, dragging along the man who was trying to help. The car then crashed into a truck near the BP station. Witnesses there say the Good Samaritan was left pinned underneath the front of the car, suffering critical injuries.
Bad all around. I have no idea. I didn't know really what happened. I just seen the situation when I pulled in here. You know, they looked like older people, and looked like she, I don't know, didn't hit the brakes. She ended up running into a truck sitting there, you know.
Now, that driver, who police believe was having a medical emergency, was also taken to the hospital to be checked out. At this point, no word on her condition. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. A community is mourning the loss of a cattle farmer shot and killed yesterday.
State police say that 53-year-old Shane Thomason was murdered during a livestock auction in Washington County. He lived and farmed in Garrett County his entire life. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on how Thomason is being remembered.
The shooting of Shane E. Thomason of Garrett County happened here in the back lot of the Washington County Livestock Center. People that we talked to say they're not exactly sure what happened, but police say they believe there was a shooting. Thomason was shot and he later died at the University of Louisville Hospital. The shooting happened just before 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. It was a busy day at the stockyards. In fact, workers say they moved about 1,400 head of cattle. The shooting happened, though, in a low traffic area behind the main stockyards. Workers we spoke with say they never heard the gunshot. Friends say Thomason frequently sold cattle in Springfield. He's a lifelong Garrett County resident, and friends say that he's farmed all his life. His family says that Shane was loved by many in Lancaster, and they simply don't understand why this happened. They say that he was a kind and special person to all of them.
We know what our customers eat.
Misty Wood says he ate at Smith's restaurant on the town square twice a day.
He has a big cut up, always joking, laughing. He was just an all-around good guy, really.
Those who work here and those who deliver cattle say that this is a shocking situation. In fact, one of the guys told me that in almost 20 years of hauling cattle and working here, nothing like this has ever happened before. A lot more on this coming up at 6 o'clock, but for now, in Washington County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say they do not have any information on suspects or persons of interest, but again, they do suspect foul play.
Firefighters finished putting out the final hot spots from Saturday's fire at the Bluegrass Stockyards. Now they say they can turn their full attention to figuring out what caused that devastating fire. WKYT's Sean Moody is tracking the investigation.
Lexington Fire Department investigators as well as the ATF are still going through the debris here at the Bluegrass Stockyards. They haven't said how close they're getting to determining a cause. Fire investigators spent the day scouring the rubble, taking pictures of what's left out here. A fire department spokesperson said it's an incredibly tedious job. They have to remove pieces of evidence by hand, catalog them, then both Lexington Fire and the ATF have to examine them. They haven't said exactly where they are in that process or what evidence they've recovered, but they did say there's no indication of anything suspicious. They're optimistic they'll figure out what happened.
I hate to speculate. I know that there's a number of professionals working on it, and I feel like that they'll have come to some understanding of what occurred here.
There's still a whole lot of rubble here on this site, including these large pieces of that metal roof. We're expecting storms with high winds this evening, and a spokesperson for Lexington's Department of Public Safety says they'll keep an eye on things here.
There will be someone here throughout the night, as there has been for the past couple of days. So if there were a situation where we saw that debris were flying, getting into the roadway, or was causing a situation, certainly we would address it.
And the fire department is also still asking for pictures or video that people might have taken, especially before the firefighters got here. They say that might help them figure out exactly what started this fire. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And you can find that email address where you can send those pictures and videos on WKYT.com.
The case against a Lexington man accused of killing his wife nearly 6 years ago has finally been resolved. Donald Southworth entered an Alford plea in the death of Umi Southworth. A jury convicted him of murder back in 2012, but the state Supreme Court overturned it. WKYT's Jennifer Palumbo is at the live desk with today's developments. Jennifer?
Well, Sam, 2 years ago, the state Supreme Court overturned Donald Southworth's murder conviction and granted him a new trial because of testimony jurors heard about his sexual history. But instead of going to trial this morning in Fayette Circuit Court, the 53-year-old Southworth took an Alford plea to a charge of first-degree manslaughter. An Alford plea allows a defendant to plead guilty to the crime but still maintain his innocence. The plea brings an end to the case that started in June 2010 when his wife Umi Southworth was found badly beaten outside the couple's home in the Meadowthorpe neighborhood. She died the next day in the hospital. The case led to policy changes for the Lexington police and fire departments because investigators did not realize Umi Southworth was still alive for more than 3 hours after they arrived at the crime scene. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Southworth is scheduled to be formally sentenced on March 11th. His recommended sentence is 15 years in prison. The Wildcats back in action tonight following a tough loss to Kansas.
They are on the road but back in SEC territory to play Tennessee. WKYT's Rob Bromley is live for us in Knoxville with a preview. Rob?
Well, you know, Amber, it has not been easy to win here in Thompson Bowling Arena down through the years. It's Kentucky and Tennessee again tonight, but Tennessee is rebuilding under first-year coach Rick Barnes. Now, the Cats went into Lawrence, Kansas last weekend, almost pulled it off before falling in overtime. At the end of regulation, they couldn't quite finish the game. but this is certainly a team that has made some serious progress in the second half of January.
Our last 4 games, they fought like heck. They've had a refuse-to-lose attitude every game. Teaching them how to win and how to finish off games is on me. That's my job. Their job is to go in there and fight like crazy. My job is to help them understand and have maybe more structure in how we finish off a game. That's not on them, that's on me.
Oh, what a block that was by Jamal Murray Saturday. 7 o'clock tip-off. It is on ESPN tonight as Kentucky takes on Tennessee in Knoxville. That block by Jamal Murray coming with 19 seconds left in regulation. The Cats almost did it in Lawrence. They fought hard, and I think John Calipari is expecting the same kind of fight here tonight. Much more coming up in sports at 5:45. We'll hear from Derek Willis, but for now, that's it from Knoxville. Back to you.
We will see you then, Rob. Thank you. The Cats are back in Rupp on Saturday to face Florida. Presidential candidates are moving on from Iowa. We'll show you where they took their campaigns today.
A mother receives a special gift 3 years after her son's death. The reunion that allowed her to hear his heartbeat again in better living.
And semi-crashes have become a common scene on a stretch of Central Kentucky Road. What the people living nearby want done to improve safety. That's on WKYT News at 5:30.
Severe thunderstorms across parts of western Tennessee and western Kentucky. I'm timing them into central and eastern Kentucky with a new hour-by-hour breakdown next.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthDocs.com to view a video of Dr. Molly Hauser on detecting and treating gestational diabetes. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
We have more flights to more of the places you want to go every single day. See for yourself. Visit us today.
Get on your computer or mobile device. Because of all the great Toyota deals out there, most are not seen on TV. That's why you need to visit buyatoyota.com for a huge selection of savings offers that couldn't possibly fit in a TV commercial, including 0% financing, great lease deals, and 2-year no-cost maintenance. So get on your computer or mobile device and go to buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Toyota, let's go places.
Sleep is a critical component of our athletic training at UK.
Our sleep experts are the champions at matching our customers to the best bed for them.
This week at Sleep Outfitters, get a free TV with qualifying purchase, like this Sealy Pillow Top Queen Set with gel foam, now only $4.99, plus a free TV. Go to sleepoutfitters.com for store locations and hours.
Sleep Outfitters, official sleep provider of UK athletics. Sleep like a champion, play like a champion.
I'd like to make a farewell toast to boring breakfast sandwiches. Goodbye, you dry, crusty, poor excuses for breakfast. I've moved on to the new DQ chicken and gravy biscuit. Juicy white meat chicken breast on a fluffy home-style biscuit smothered in pepper gravy. I'll never eat a dry breakfast again. Maybe I should propose a toast to gravy.
The new DQ Chicken and Gravy Biscuit, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Save money at Lexington Diagnostic Center. It's your choice.
Hurt in a car accident?
Your pain and suffering might be worth more than you think.
Car repairs, medical bills, gone.
We make it easy.
I made that call.
Let's get started. 800-800-4600.
Who you gonna call?
Give us 5 minutes to make your life easier. MomsEveryday.com.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Mix 94.5.
It's WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Tornado watch already out for parts of central Kentucky. That includes Harrisburg, Danville, and points west and southwest from there. Will that be expanded farther east? Very good chance in time that late this evening into the wee hours of the morning, we will see at least a severe thunderstorm watch, if not a tornado watch, expanded farther to the east. Also, it's a wind advisory out for just about all of central and eastern Kentucky. No matter whether or not you get something that is truly classified as a severe thunderstorm, you may have winds greater than 50 miles an hour cranking up around this big storm system that is off to our west. Getting in on some showers and thunderstorms now across parts of north central Kentucky. This on the leading edge of this big line of storms that's developing out across western Kentucky. Carlisle, Nicholas County, parts of Bourbon County, just to the north of Georgetown. Some heavy downpours will be blowing in there over the next 5-10 minutes. Those cells are rapidly lifting off to the north. Still, well, the tornado warning just expired for areas northeast of Madisonville. Still a severe thunderstorm warning to the west of the Russellville area into southwestern Kentucky. Additional thunderstorms, though, beginning to crank up across the Nashville area and back to our southwest. Whatever's down here is going to head toward the northeast. We may see a couple of lines continue to pop as the evening wears on, so keep that in mind mid to latter part of the evening. Here's the new hour-by-hour future radar. Showers, thunderstorms out ahead of that main line that by 11 o'clock is right on top of our western counties through 1 a.m., 3 a.m. And you see how that line kind of snakes its way through? That's a signature of some winds that could be jetting out ahead of that main line greater than 60 miles per hour. Here's a breakdown for you. Out and about this evening, winds are going to be gusty. The severe thunderstorm threat, though, is generally west of Interstate 75. Overnight, severe thunderstorms then roll across the rest of the area. Damaging winds, threat number 1. Flooding would be threat number 2. Those storms may put down a quick 1, 2, or 3 inches of rain. And with a fast enough pace on that, could cause some local high water issues. Early tomorrow morning, southeastern Kentucky, we're still getting in on storms when you wake up. By midday, a lot of that action is off to our east. Gusty winds are going to continue to crank. Rainfall totals really not changing much as we get new data in each hour to update the totals here, showing a swath to 1 to local 2 and 3 inch amounts showing up across much of central Kentucky, and another little swath into the far southeastern corner of the state. That would likely come very early tomorrow morning. Wet ground. We have the big thaw that has occurred over the past week and change. The soggy ground, still courtesy of that historic snowstorm and snow melt over the past week and change. Throw in 50-mile-per-hour gusts or greater. Now you have the recipe for a weakened root system on some of the trees there, especially some of those trees that are having issues to begin with. You could see a few of those uprooted as winds tonight crank better than 50 miles per hour. What an absolutely crazy Groundhog Day it is across the Bluegrass State. Record highs today. Think of this. It's the hottest Groundhog Day in history for the state of Kentucky. For Lexington, surrounding areas, absolutely nuts. We cap it off tonight, guys, with severe thunderstorms. Next week, getting my attention for a different reason. Old Man Winter comes surging back in with a storm threat Monday and Tuesday.
Great reminder for folks to make sure they go and check where their weather radio is right now. Make sure it's plugged in, batteries.
Without question. And of course, you can follow us along all night long on WKYT at WKYT.com, social media, our app, you name it. We've got you covered through this event.
Thank you, Chris.
You bet.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. It looks like police are working one collision right now. That crash is on the, well, it's actually on Hollow Creek and Rodney. Hollow Creek and Rodney. It is an injury crash in the intersection there, so a little trouble getting past that. Drive times looking good. No problems on into Madison County. Traffic moving okay toward Georgetown, and we've cleared the problem on Winchester Road. Now back to you in the studio.
The Iowa caucus is over. It's time for the candidates for president to move on. We'll show you where the campaign trail has moved ahead.
Get weather plus traffic with a WKYT weather app. Have the Defender Radar Network in the palm of your hand while checking your driving conditions for your commute on the same screen. Weather plus traffic on the WKYT weather app.
2 conies or 2 burgers and 2 tots and 2 drinks. It's like I'm seeing double.
Speaking of double, look.
You guys want to hang out sometime?
Hey, man.
I think I nailed it.
Now 2 can eat for $9.99 all month long. This is how you Sonic.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
How many power company employees does it take to change 2,500 light bulbs? I'm Delinda Borden for Kentucky Power. One of our experts came out and found the theater could save a lot of money just by changing their light bulbs.
we're saving nearly 87% on our electric bill compared to the old incandescents.
By helping the Paramount to save money, we help them to stay viable in the future. I'll never perform on stage. I'm just proud to be part of the supporting cast.
We may be a power company, but the true power in our communities comes from our people.
Can't wait to try these wings.
I know. And apparently this spicy honey barbecue sauce is so good, it'll change your life.
Yeah?
Mom and Dad, can I borrow the car?
Our son's in a boy band?
We have a son?
Life-changing? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. The boneless wings meal with spicy honey barbecue sauce, served with crinkle fries and a small drink. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
Did your family set a goal to become healthier in the new year? One family did and lost 300 pounds at Ageless. Bruce lost 92 pounds, Adam lost 64 pounds, and Catherine lost 151 pounds. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
Looking to fall in love this Valentine's Day? Fall in love with summer at the Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show. Shop the latest boats, RVs, and motorsports. Visit the Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show, brought to you by Lee's Ford Marina.
These little chickies and little doggies are small, but they're intense.
Yeah, it's like my niece Hannah.
And you take karate?
Show them how intense you are.
Hey!
Now finish him.
Big flavor in a little package. New little chickies and little doggies. This is how you Sonic.
This week, the Jeopardy College Championship is finally here.
Let's go to work.
15 of the brightest college students compete to make their schools and their parents proud.
Jeopardy! Tonight at 7:30 on WKYT.
Health officials say that someone in Texas has acquired the Zika virus through sexual contact. The patient had sexual contact with an infected person who'd been to a country where Zika is present. The Zika virus is typically spread through mosquito bites, but investigators have been exploring the possibility it can spread through sex.
The presidential candidates have moved on to New Hampshire following yesterday's Iowa caucus. Ted Cruz walked away victorious on the Republican side. As for the Democrats, Hillary Clinton beat Bernie Sanders in a race that wasn't decided until this afternoon. It was the closest Iowa caucus in history.
We are in a fight to the finish about whether or not we're going to build on the progress we have made or watch it get ripped away.
Back on the Republican side, Donald Trump finished behind Cruz, followed by Marco Rubio. Another hearing today for comedian Bill Cosby. A Pennsylvania judge heard arguments on Cosby's request to have sexual assault charges thrown out. His lawyers say prosecutors promised not to charge him a decade ago, but the current district attorney says there's no record of that agreement. The former prosecutor testified he declined to charge Cosby to allow his alleged victim to win her civil case.
Microsoft is recalling more than 2 million AC power cords for its Surface Pro, Surface Pro 2, and Surface Pro 3 computers. There have been 56 reports of the cords overheating or catching fire, and 5 reports of people getting shocked. You can get a replacement cord for free. We have more information on WKYT.com. Downtown Lexington Street finally reopens this morning after being closed for nearly 2 years. We talked to a business owner excited about the change on WKYT News at 5:30.
A mother's decision to donate her son's organs leads to an emotional reunion. You'll see it next in Better Living.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
Hi, I'm Brent. This is Geronimo. We're here to tell you about Fireplace Concepts, Lexington's only licensed fireplace shop. With over 60 years of combined experience, we know what it takes to heat a home. Come by and see us at our newly renovated showroom on Regency Road, and as always, home is where the heart is.
Flaky fish from Alaska? Sweet buns from Hawaii? Nice going, new states! Welcome to the Union. Arby's, we have the meats.
When it comes to your heart, there's one team that's leading the way to better care in the area, Baptist Health. Our team exceeds national standards for heart attack care and has been recognized with top quality ratings for cardiac surgery. From clinical research trials to advanced imaging and surgical options, our heart specialists provide nationally recognized comprehensive care right here at Baptist Health.
Like to know how to avoid measuring, marking, and bad cuts with your circular saw? With the Craig Rip Cut Saw Guide, you'll make those accurate cuts repeatedly without measuring or marking your boards. The Rip Cut adjusts quickly to your cutting width, making cuts in plywood and MDF fast, easy, and accurate every time. Great projects all start with perfect cuts, so get the Craig Rip Cut Saw Guide today. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Get your Craig Rip Cut at craigcutting.com or these and other fine retailers.
Do you have a dream of exploring the open roads or traveling with family? It's time to get started. And Day Brothers RV in London is home to the largest selection of RVs and travel trailers in southern Kentucky, with brands like Thor, Coachman, Heartland, Fleetwood, and Winnebago. The selection has never been larger, and the features have never been more luxurious. Explore in comfort. Explore your way. Explore more options with Day Brothers RV in London.
Jimmy Nash Homes is known for the beautiful community of Patch and Wilkes in the Reserve at Greenbrier, an estate community in the midst of beautiful horse farms with luscious green space. And we're excited about Andover Club Villas, luxury country club living at its best, and our first ever Jessamine County exclusive community, the Oaks at Cave Springs, soon to be one of Central Kentucky's most stunning neighborhoods. All of our homes in all 4 communities feature Anderson Windows and Doors, the most trusted name in windows and doors.
Your dream home starts here with us. We have something for everyone.
So come and see us.
My name is Renee Ward.
Tony Orlando.
And this is my mailbox confession. I sell beauty products.
I am a CPA.
I sell fitness equipment.
Shh, just between you and me. I don't want the competition to know my secret. You've got to have an address, and this is mine.
The packing, the shipping.
It's local.
Mailbox, paperwork. The UPS store.
It's a miracle.
I confess, I don't know what I'd do without you.
Real small business owners count on the UPS store.
It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Thanks to modern medicine, a grieving mother received an amazing gift. A few days ago, Heather Clark heard her son's heartbeat again for the first time since he died in 2013. Don Champion shows us the reunion between Clark and the little girl her son's heart saved.
The tears flowed instantly between Heather Clark and Esther Gonzalez. Through their 2 children, the mothers know too well the tragedy of loss and the beauty of a second chance. Their story started in 2013 when Heather's 7-month-old son Lucas died suddenly.
So outgoing. He was just a little ham.
In her moment of grief, Heather made the brave decision to donate Lucas's organs. She remembers what she thought.
There's another family out there somewhere who's, feeling something like what I'm feeling somewhat. And I have the chance to make them not go through what I'm about to go through.
In Arizona, it's exactly what Esther Gonzalez was going through at the time. Her 18-month-old daughter, Jordan, was fighting for her life because of a congenital heart defect. After countless surgeries and seizures, Jordan needed a new heart to survive. And that's exactly what she got. Lucas's heart was a match. But because the donation was made anonymously, the families had not met. Until this past Friday.
Can I have a kiss on the cheek? Right here, please.
The moms found each other online. Their bond was instant. Then came a gift.
Oh, yay! Thank you.
A teddy bear.
Say, that's my heartbeat.
That played the beat of Lucas's donated heart. Then Heather got to listen for herself.
She would be so selfless to be able to think of another family while she's going through her grief.
2 moms brought together by tragedy.
It's so strong.
But now bound by triumph. Don Champion, CBS News.
And that is an amazing gift right there. Right now, more than 122,000 people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. You can sign up to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor at registerme.org. For more health, education, and consumer news, go to WKYT.com and click on Better Living. Now, here's what's coming up at 5:30.